Blessed love, greetings, welcome, Wagwan. Welcome to episode 7 of INI Reason. My name is Sinai Flary, and as usual, I'm joined in the studio by my wonderful co-host, Mr.
Asha Heights in the building, yeah man, upful, cupful, blazing. INI Reason.
INI Reason. So we're forward again. I'm not going to say we're back, we're forward after having a wonderful summer break.
Don't it?
Yeah man, we have to take some vacation or holiday time. So Asha, before we even get into your side of the things, like, I'm just going to tell everyone briefly what I've been doing. I can't tell everyone everything because some things are still under wraps and I'll be making announcements soon. But before we had our summer break, I was invited back to my old primary school to do a school assembly, a whole school assembly on Rastafari. So it was me and my older sister, who's a primary school teacher. Big up my older sister, by the way.
Salute.
Yeah, man. So me and my sister got together and did this presentation on Rastafari for the whole school. And it was, it was so, what's the word? Refreshing. It was so refreshing, like how the children, because we basically went through the foundations of the Rastafari movement, the free mansions of Rastafari. We went through the diet, the music, Nyabingi, prayer, everything. And I tell you, the way the children were so receptive and listening, and it was just so nice. And I brought in some props from home. So I brought in I think I brought in a Bible, an ankh, some Rastaman hat, what else did I bring in? Like a staff, a rod, some beads. It was so good. Like I said, the way the children just embraced it, and the teachers as well, it was nice. They were coming up to me like, "Oh, I didn't know that about Rastafari, and thanks for coming in and stuff." So yeah, big up my old primary school, Miles Coverdale Primary School, down there in the bush.
Yes, I. Blessings.
Yeah, man. So that was really good. And they've invited me back as well in the month of October to do a Black History assembly on the Caribbean. So I'm currently working on that as well, hoping to go into other schools as well. So I'm talking to some other schools at the moment. Yeah, can't talk too much, but we're always working and we're always willing to be spreading the words about INI, because I feel like there's not enough known about INI, and who better to talk about us or INI as in Rasta people than INI. True. It's fair enough, you can get somebody else, but they're gonna mock it, they're gonna jeer it because they don't live it every day.
Real.
Yeah, so I'm really honoured that I get to go in and represent for the people them. So man.
And the youths are the future, so the best ones to really give this knowledge to from them time are the youths them.
Yeah, and it was nice because it's a multicultural school.
Yes, sir.
Children from all different sort of walks of life and faiths, but they were just listening, and there was even they were asking questions. They were like, why is your diet, what does Ital mean? What does INI mean? And it was really nice to be able to engage with them. And I feel like afterwards, when they saw me, I was still in the school afterwards, they're like, "You done that assembly on Rastafari?" I was like, yeah. So they still remember me. So the children, man, it was a nice experience. But enough about me. Yeah, I need to talk to you about what you've been up to, because I'm following your Instagram and I'm just seeing you're gone here, you're gone there, you're jet setter, you're gone there, you're gone there, you're in this. What's been going on? I saw you went Coventry.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. Give thanks and praise to life. Yes, I and I are reason, You're forward, me. Give thanks ones and ones. Yeah, all the listening ones out there in the world. Give thanks again. Yeah, I and I went to Coventry. Yes, I do an interview with DJ Kiatpan, Arawak Radio. Shout out, give thanks to life. It was a good interview. You know what I mean? Went into the history of Asha Heights' journey, musical journey. Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Sing a few songs and reason a bit about the past, the present, and the future. It was a hopeful vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was that to promote your music, yeah?
It was to promote the single Challenger Road featuring Loot and Fire. And also... Yes, I. Charlie. Is it? Rastafari.
Rain, I walk.
Is it? Yes, I. Blazing. Upful.
I'm trying.
Yes, I. And also different singles, you know what I mean? They're available on iTunes and all them things there. Yeah, just to spread the word about Asha Heights, basically.
Okay, so you went Coventry. Then I saw something else on your Instagram.
Yeah, our next interview.
That one was in the US. So
It's an American interview, you know what I mean? I think it's New York.
Wow.
Yeah, give thanks, you know. DJ Jamie. Yes, I blessings, shout out. Yes, I. Zion INS. Yes, I. Zion INS, you know, give thanks. It was a lovely interview. The interview there was a different kind of interview because it's one I'm on. I don't really have much interview over the phone. I normally have interview in person.
Yeah.
So it's
where you go into the studios and stuff.
Face to face and things. So it was when I'm on first interview over the phone and thing, but the Virgin him deal it well and make kind of feel that man, everything was nice and he asked some nice questions, some very thought provoking meditation and thing, and we get into it with a joy, look at serious life, you know what I mean, and comment upon, you know what I mean, the whole vibe same way.
Yeah, I love listening to interviews like that, like interviews that are like, you know, that keep you hooked, where you want to listen to it, you can't put it down. Do you know what I mean? So what, Coventry, US, and then
recently.
When was it? The other day I'm like, let me just check on Asha's page because I need to keep up to date with what you're doing.
Yes,
because I knew we was doing the podcast and I was like, all right, let me just brief myself on what Asha's been up to.
True.
I see some big newspaper coverage. I was like, listen, do you know what? I need to up my game because if we're coming into the podcast and I'm like, I just been doing this, and you're coming with what? Come on, tell the people what you've been up to.
Yes, people. Yeah, man. You know.
Star newspaper. Star newspaper. Star in the star. Why are you laughing?
Rastafari, yeah, man. Yes, give thanks and praise, for all the ones that will make it happen. MIA production, blessed love, shout out. Yeah, the Star, Jamaica Star newspaper, you know, have a nice article about Asha Heights, an interview. You know, it was lovely vibes, and give thanks to the Strength Star, Jamaica Star.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes, man, I say, them things don't really come along every day or every week or every month. Yeah. First, I'm gonna get an interview in a major newspaper, more so a major newspaper in Jamaica. Wow. And also the Star. I'm gonna grow up reading the Star as a youth. You see me, I say, so to be in the Star as a star, it's a lovely feeling, and also Mama also saw the newspaper, my mother speaking, Mama Josephine.
She must have been proud.
Yeah, and she
look
give her a card.
Me, baby. Look on me, baby.
Yeah, and to put it in few words, Mama is proud, you know?
Yeah.
Mama is proud of Iman, and she tell her, say, yeah, man, keep the vibes going, keep the faith, you know, it have a pay off, and you know, she loved the vibes and she loved the picture and the whole story. And so I give thanks to the Strength. Yeah, give thanks to the Strength. Jamaica Star, bless up. MIA production, bless up, and all the ones who read forward and strength forward and send forward them good words and encouragement. Give thanks.
It's nice. Do you know what it is? It's always nice when you watch somebody's journey, very closely, like follow your journey very closely, and you see, like, you know, them trying over the years, and then when they finally get like that big break, there's nothing better than seeing, you know, the fruits of somebody's labor. Like, we followed your career and you'll be like, okay, I remember when Ashley used to perform, like, you know, around London on local gigs. Okay, I remember when Ashley used to open for like Taurus Riley and Beres Hammond. I remember when Ashley used to do this. But to see, like, you're getting some recognition now, like, on major platforms, it's like such a good feeling. As a supporter, so I can't imagine how you feel. But yeah, man, Asha Heights, big up yourself. Big things are come. So, and tomorrow is Sunday, in Jamaica. So I know your mum's taking that paper with her to church.
Well, yeah,
she's gonna show all her friends, isn't it?
She's been showing everyone the paper, everyone since, you know what I mean? Sister likewise and brother likewise, you know, the one them I feel the vibe and I'm proud and I give thanks.
Yeah. There's nothing like knowing that you've made your parents proud though.
Yeah, man.
Alright, so that's all you've been up to. You been up to anything else?
We're in plans and things are pending.
Alright, don't talk too much.
We can't talk too much, you don't know it already.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. So listen, that's the nice way to start off this episode because we've got some topics we're going to be talking about. Before I go into that, don't forget, guys, you can hit us up on social media. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Just find INI A Reason Podcast. And don't forget to use the hashtag INI Podcast if you want to leave any comments or give us any feedbacks. If you want to email us topics or comments to read out, you can email them to us at iniareason@gmail.com.
Blessed.
Yeah, man. So the first topic, 1st of August was Emancipation Day.
Yes, Rasta.
Yeah, man. So as you know, we're in London, and there was a big march that took place from Brixton to the Houses of Parliament.
Yes.
I attended this year. I know that you've been like previous years. I think this was the 5th year. It was.
Yeah, I man been a few years, but I man never tried this year still.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In spirit, but not physically.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah, man.
I went, and I can say I really enjoyed it this year. I thought it was a beautiful occasion. I always love going to the march though, because it's only like the only time really in London that I see black people gather in mass numbers, and I'm not talking Notting Hill Carnival. No disrespect to Carnival. I mean like gather in numbers for like a common cause. Do you know what I mean? There was members of the Rastafarian community there, and when I mean Rastafarian community, Rastafarian movement, it was from all mansions. So there was the Nyabingi members there. There was the Boba Shanti members there. There was some 12 tribe members there. Then there was the Pan-Africanists were there. Yeah. I saw representation from the Nation of Islam are always there.
Yes, sir.
And it was just nice to kind of have all of us together. That's what I love most about the march, is that I feel us collectively. Do you know what I mean? We're all walking together. We're all talking together. We all sit down at Houses of Parliament and debate and eat together and stuff like that. So I feel for that reason, the march is important and it's a beautiful thing. And also, just because in the UK, there's nothing that I know of that marks Emancipation Day in the UK except for the march. I don't know of any other events or any. I didn't hear anything else about other events that happen. No. If there are, please let us know. Do you know what I mean? If there are, please let us know. Don't forget you can contact us and let us know.
Sure.
But I don't know anything else that's marking Emancipation Day in the UK.
I don't know. I don't know either. You know, the only thing I might know. Yes,
yeah. I mean, so what's your take on the march from the times that you've been like?
Yeah, you see, the march the first time I've been to the march was like a refreshing vibes. Like the eye say, if you take over the streets of London and all you can see as far as the eye can see is just colours, red, gold and green, red, black and green. You know what I mean? Rasta children, Rasta elders. You see me, I say man and woman a chant and a sing and a beat drums, and the vibe was awful, and it was in a cars and it was for a cars, and it still is for a cars, and because of that reason, and seeing the unification of everyone, like I said, all houses, you see me, David, yeah, and even the Muslim, yeah, and all different nations in the same way, join together and come together, unified. It's a powerful thing, and it's something where I and I children for see and see more of as well. So it was empowering. I was a good vibes. Yeah, I was grateful and give thanks.
Yeah, so I was just like reading up on like Emancipation Day. So basically what it is, for those who don't know, so Emancipation Day is celebrated by people of African and Caribbean descent in the UK because slavery was abolished from British colonies on this date. So it was on the 1st of August in 1833. Yeah, the Slavery Abolition Act came into force on the 1st of August 1833. So that's why we celebrate Emancipation Day, and I know they do in the Caribbean as well.
Yes,
they have big celebrations and stuff. But I mean, I've heard some people saying, "Oh, the march is a waste of time. Where we marching to? We're just walking and banging drums, making noise." No, because we've spoken about the good things that we like about it, and it's for a purpose, and we're handing in a petition. So the petition was to charge the British government with genocide and ecocide.
Yes,
for African people and African people of descent. Now, I don't know where all the criticism comes from. We're walking to nowhere, we're wasting our time, we're just making noise. I saw some people tweeting, "Oh, I was late for work because of this march," and I'm like, okay. But isn't the cause much more important than you being late for work one day? Or much more bigger than, okay, we're playing our Nyabingi drums through the streets of Brixton, and it was in the daytime. We're not keeping you up at night. It was in daytime. So you can't be complaining about the noise level. They got permission to do the march.
Of course, yeah.
So I don't know where all the criticism comes from. And I mean, if you are going to criticize, I hope you're bringing forward an alternative.
All right.
You know, or another solution or another suggestion for what we could do instead of march and play bingy drums and hand in a petition and make speeches, what else do you think we could be doing? We're all open for those suggestions, but I just find people are a bit
negative, right?
In a word, I'm like, okay, so you didn't organise the march, you didn't attend, but we made you late for work, or we was making too much noise in Brixton. Okay, so what are you doing to remember Emancipation Day? Or you don't really care, it's just another day for you. So I feel like there needs to be like some discussions had, like about why we're doing it, why it's important, and if you want to get on board. If you don't, then I suggest you just keep your negative comments to yourself or organise your own thing. Like, I don't understand. Do you know what I mean? But as well, I was hearing people saying there was some division in the march, and I was like, I didn't see it. I didn't see it.
True.
I didn't see it. I think when you get a group of people, no matter what people, there's always going to be people who are going to cling to people who are more like themselves, or... Do you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about like there was divisions. I didn't see any. I saw like a beautiful array of black African people walking together for a common cause from all different faiths. Like I said, whether you're Rasta, whether you're Christian, whether you're Muslim, we was all walking together in unity. I didn't see any division, as it were. True. Do you know what I mean? And I wouldn't really want to bring that talk into something so beautiful to amplify it and make people think, right, okay, there was division. I didn't see any, and I was there, and this is like my 4th year going. So big up to everybody who was involved in the organisation of this year's Emancipation Day March in London from Brixton to Parliament Square, and that happened on the 1st of August 2018. And I must say there's video footage online where people can look on YouTube. If you wasn't able to go and you want to have a look, you can look on YouTube. Just type it in. Yes, so that was that.
Man.
Let's move on. Actually, I want to talk Buju Banton real quick, because remember on our last episode we said we was going to be keeping track of Buju's free up time.
Man.
So guys, we're keeping track of Buju Banton's free up time. So we're counting down for how long Buju has left until he's released. What date is he released, Asha?
December the Great. You're not going.
Yes. So according to, he's got an official website where you can keep track. It is bujubantan.com. And if I click on it right now, sorry for the clicking sound, so I'm trying to do it live, yeah? Their hashtag is called Buju Returns. And if you click on it, it will tell you Buju has 3 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days to go. All right, so that's the Buju Banton countdown clock for INI reason this week. Buju Banton has 3 months, 3 weeks, and 6 days to go. Hashtag Buju Returns.
Yeah, man. I mean, road.
Yeah, man. So that's that. And in other music business news, real quick, Shaka Demus and Pliers were supposed to be doing a European tour.
Okay.
They had to cancel it recently because Shaka Demus fell ill. We do understand he went to see a doctor in Jamaica and he is now on the road to recovery, but he was just not well enough to perform. So all those who were looking out for them to come on their European tour, it's been cancelled and they are rescheduling the dates, I do believe.
Speed recovery, my lad. Speed recovery. Just speed. More life. So that's,
Alright, so we're going to move on to Jamaica Independence Day. That was... Now, I thought we would talk about this because you're Jamaican, so I thought, you know what, we can talk about Jamaica Independence Day because it's not like we're going to be discussing it and there's no Jamaicans discussing it. Like I said, I feel like we should be talking about things that relate to INI.
Sure.
So, like the march, for example, or Rasta things. You're Jamaican, so we're going to talk about Jamaica Independence Day. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Even though I have Jamaican family members and friends and stuff, I'm going to keep my mouth quiet on this one. So Jamaica Independence Day was on the 6th of August.
Yes, sir. So
how do you feel about it?
Jamaica Independence Day. Wow. Yeah, man, it's a nice sight because if I remember, and there I can go and check it as well. There's a YouTube clip as well of gathering at National Stadium celebrating Emancipation. No, sorry, Independence Day.
Yeah.
You see me I say, and it's like, you have performance like Wayne Marshall singing that big tune, you know, and it was like a nice gathering, a nice unity and thing, like everyone come together and thing, and you know what I mean, flashing lights and everyone singing along. And but there's a flip side to the thing. It's me I say. There's a flip side to the thing. In Jamaica, it's like, to really say Jamaica is independent 100% will be a lie. Just like nowhere else is independent. 100% independent still, but Jamaica right now is in a place right now where they are really dependent on a lot of people. Not only one soul, but different people, and they really need to kind of stand up firm more. The government need to take a stock and take hands on more of Jamaica and give Jamaica, I wouldn't say back to the Jamaicans, but give the Jamaican youths them more opportunity so them can grow up to be future businessmen, entrepreneurs, and rich people. Live uptown too. Don't just cut off this thing where downtown stay downtown and uptown stay uptown. You know what I mean? Bridge the gap. You know what I mean? So every youth can have a chance and opportunity if you can reach where every youth can reach. You see me I say? And the thing design a way to make the poor stay poor and the rich stay richer. And in Jamaica, because Jamaica is small and thing, and you can even see it more in front of your eyes. You know, it's not hidden like certain places where it hide behind. You know what I mean? You can see it in front of your eye. You can see the back of the lorry movements, and you can see the, you know what I mean, certain vibes, you know, for go on. You know what I mean? You have the hierarchy same way. You have the color vibes, you know what I mean? You have the name vibes, you have the bridging vibe, the link vibes, the family vibes. And I think Jamaica need to kind of have a more order to the thing where, like me say, no one is exempt. And not because you're Mr. Chin, or not because you're of Europe descent, or not because of you have Indian descent, you kind of get more privilege and all these things. And because, you know, say Jamaica is in debt, and in big debt to certain people, US, China, and all these places. You see me I say, then because them in the country, they might get more privilege and get more forward, more the rest of the people who born in the country, natives, you understand? And growing up in Jamaica and seeing certain things, I wouldn't say Jamaica is independent 100%, because Jamaica rely upon all these places, and they don't need to rely on all these places, because them now really pull up them socks and, you know what I mean, buckle up them belt and kind of deal with things properly. You know what I mean? Farm more, deal with more agriculture, deal with more, invest in the youth them more in every kind of way, sports, agriculture, in the talents and skills, in every kind of way, musically, create more infrastructure. You know what I mean? There's many more things that can go on, but them just not do it.
Because I remember I was doing some research like on Jamaica, because I went there for a holiday, so I did a bit of research, you know, to find out a bit about the island before I went, and I was finding it a bit like, some of the information I was finding out was like good, you know, like it's an island rich in culture and history, and you know, the Rastafarian movement was founded there, and you got, you know, Pan-African leaders, you know, that will come from there, like Marcus Garvey. But then it was like there was a flip side where I was like, okay, modern day Jamaica now is still dependent on imports of rice from other countries, imports of like basic things, and I was like, okay. But then when I went there, I saw so much land that was just available, rich land that was just available, and I was like, well, this could grow enough rice.
Of course.
This could grow enough, you know. So I didn't feel like. Another thing I noticed was going into certain establishments, whether it was banks, supermarkets, I was like, okay, where's the dark-skinned Jamaican woman, you know, that was working in these high places? It was really hard to find one, and I found it hard, like when I was shopping in supermarkets, I found this really hard, is that most of the people that own the supermarkets that I went in were Chinese owned, and towards the end of my holiday I was like, do you know what, no, even if I have to walk a bit further or ask somebody, there must be a Jamaican owned supermarket where I can go and spend my tourist money and give to them. No offense, Mr. Chin, but I don't see why you should own all the supermarkets in Jamaica, and then you've got the native Jamaicans, the black Jamaicans in the back of the supermarket. This is what I saw with my own eyes. With big plastic bags full of rice that's got no brand on it, scooping it out and putting it in smaller bags of rice and putting it. And when I saw them at the back, I was like, oh, excuse me, but it looked like they were on a plantation.
Yes, sir.
Bagging out bags of rice, bagging out bags of flour, and then when I'm going to pay, there's Mrs. Chin at the front and Mr. Chin taking the money, or sitting high up on some chair watching everybody like this, like a security. And I thought, oh, you look like the overseer on the plantation. This is what this looks like. And it was kind of heartbreaking. But then when I did find an authentic Jamaican supermarket, I felt good, because I thought, okay, I don't understand how. Anyway, I said I was going to keep my mouth shut. There I am talking. Sorry.
No, but you're speaking about.
I'm speaking about my experience when I went.
And where you see yourself.
Do you know what I mean? And I find
you're not beat down or speak badly of Jamaica. Everyone knows Jamaica is a lovely place.
Yeah.
It's a diamond. You understand?
And I was going to come on to that point before what you're making. I don't want to cut you off, but before I forget, I feel like when you're saying is Jamaica really independent, I'm like, okay, it's independent to a certain extent, but where I feel like Jamaica should be tightening up is what it exports, what it gives to the world in terms of music, style, fashion, culture, language, lingo, all these things that the Western world and other places in the world leech off and almost rape even, and then they take it, repackage it and push it out and make millions. This is where I feel like, hold on, Jamaica, you got to pattern that dance move. Like all them young Jamaican dancers that I saw inventing these dances that are so creative, have this creative energy. Even all over the Caribbean, we have this creative energy that is like no other, and it's infectious, and it tingles, and it's what makes, you know, the world a bit better. We need to start protecting our creative art, whether it's a dance move, whether it's a slang saying. Like if you look at something like I've forgotten what I was going to say, but somebody invented a word. One of them Jamaican artists invented a word, and that word went global. It went viral until now. I think I was reading an article in the Daily Mirror and they quoted it. And I was thinking, hold on, this word is... Where did I first hear this word? Wasn't it one of them Jamaican dancehall artists? I think that they need to be schooled business-wise on how they can protect themselves or patent themselves or trademark their things. Because once you're trademarked, you're protected. And then that adds value to your brand.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Or what was that guy who was even saying, you know, remember that guy? What was his name? I'm rich, not was it? Rich!
Oh, Tanta Blacks.
Yeah, Tanta Blacks. Rich! Even when he's going around saying that.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that. Everyone was saying that at one point.
True.
He needs to protect it. So that's where I feel like, okay, Jamaica is independent according to, you know, what the statistics say in the years and stuff. But I just feel like they need to protect their stuff a bit more so that they can benefit off it, but also that their children and their children's children are taken care of. Like if we look at, for example, dance with Bogle, everybody still Bogles.
True. We're
still seeing the Bogle dance in mainstream music videos by non-Jamaicans. True. Okay, I'm not going to call names.
No.
Yeah, or even by white artists putting the Bogle in their dance. Now hold on, the dancer Bogle, who is no longer with us, R.I.P. His family and his children, he created that dance, and that's why it's called the Bogle. It's named after him. His children and his family, who he can no longer provide for, are they getting any financial gain from pop artists using the Bogle dance in these music videos?
I don't know.
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is where I feel like Jamaica needs to tighten up, because it's not just one thing that's being taken, it's lots of things. So even if you look at things like the red, gold and green flag, the Rasta colours, that's another thing that shouldn't just be allowed to be taken like that and put on commercial brands and sold for billions of dollars. And then nothing ever goes back to the Rasta community. This Bogle dance, nothing ever goes back to Bogle's family in Jamaica. These slangs and words, nothing ever goes back. So that's where I feel like Jamaicans need to tighten up. Not just Jamaicans, but any kind of poor black people with creative talent, if you're putting your art out there, make sure it's protected. And if you don't know how to do it, find somebody who can tell you what to do. Do you know what I mean? Just to protect yourself. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say about the Jamaica gained independence from the United Kingdom on the 6th of August 1962, and it's a date that's celebrated as a national holiday in Jamaica. So yeah, that's a little bit on Jamaica Independence Day. Big up all my Jamaican friends and family. Blah, blah, blah. Happy Independence Day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so on the topic of Jamaica, obviously reggae comes from Jamaica.
That's the fun.
Yeah, man. Reggae was founded in Jamaica all those years ago. And it's rumoured that one of the biggest pop stars in the world is making a reggae album. So do you want to have a guess who it is? One of the biggest pop stars in the world is making a reggae album as we speak. Or they've been working on it for a year. Come on, you got 3 guesses. Quick.
Rihanna.
You read the notes, innit? Rihanna. He's just like picked Rihanna. Yes, Rihanna. So Bad Gyal Riri. Bad Gyal Riri is rumoured to be making a reggae album, and she's been working on it for approximately a year. Now, I was kind of excited when I heard about this because I love Rihanna's passion for the Caribbean, and I love the fact that she always speaks so proudly of where she's from. We all know she's Bajan, so she's from Barbados, but she has a genuine love for Barbados and the Caribbean in general. She never shies away from the fact that she's a Caribbean woman, and I love that about Rihanna.
Yeah, true.
She's not trying to be American, even though she's been in America for so long. She hasn't lost her accent, as far as I know when I heard her talk. And she just feels like, you know, she's proud of where she's from. And I do like that about Rihanna. You know what I mean? And I feel like her doing a reggae album, I feel like it could work, because some of the songs that I like from hers are the ones that sound reggae-ish. You know what I mean? Those are the ones that I like. But I like, you know, like Man Down, that was reggae. And then Rude Boy kind of had like some reggae influence in it as well. And then most recently, she's done like quite a bit more stuff like Work as well. That was like kind of reggae dancehall-y. I did kind of like that. And it's rumoured as well up to 500 tracks have been submitted to her team by, you know, people in the reggae world, dancehall world, who want to probably submit some music, see if she's going to use those beats, see if she's going to write a song, if she's going to accept their song that they've written for her. Yeah, so let me just read out a few of the names who are rumoured to have submitted some music for consideration for Rihanna to use on her new reggae album. So Stephen the Genius McGregor. Now what do you think about that?
Yeah, man. Great producer.
Great producer, yeah. So he submitted some work to be considered. Cranium, the dancehall artist, he submitted something.
Big artist,
I don't know if it's a production or if it's a song that he's written, so I'm not sure. But it could be both. Does he produce as well?
I'm not sure about the producing side, but I know that he sings.
And so he might have written something. Yeah. Chronix has submitted something for Rihanna.
There you go.
And I was thinking, it would be nice to get Rihanna singing like a real rootsy, fire burning song.
Or probably something love with the Rasta love kind of vibe.
Yeah, that might work as well. And then we've got Ricky Blaze, who's a producer who worked with Egyptian. He submitted something. And then Linton TJ Records White, he's produced for Serrani and Vibes Cartel as well, so he submitted some work.
Okay.
So it's quite interesting. I'm quite interested to see what will happen though.
Yeah, it'd be nice to kind of see the kind of work we should put out as a reggae album still. Yeah. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. Hopefully it's got an authentic reggae feel to it, do you know what I mean?
Well, she got all the resources.
Yeah.
And the talent, so.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem, huh?
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted on that. Rihanna's reggae album is due for release. We don't know when, but we're hoping it's this year or next year. Can't wait to hear that one. And also in entertainment news, anything else been happening in the world of reggae? It's been a bit quiet, isn't it? Everyone's behaving themselves. I I'm joking. It's a joke. No, actually, there has been loads going on actually, because like loads of albums have been coming out.
Oh yes.
So when I say they've been behaving themselves, I mean they've been hard at work.
Put in work, you know, work time.
Yeah. So if we have a look, who's released albums lately?
Agent Sasko.
Is that one out?
Yeah. Some I think it's called
Hope. Is it Hope?
Hope River.
Oh yes, Hope River.
Yeah.
And then let's see who else, because I know
Popcorn Forever.
Oh yeah, have you seen those billboards up everywhere?
No, I'm not seeing billboards.
No, I saw some up in South London. So yeah, Popcorn's released the album, Forever, and then who else released the album? iOctane released the album earlier this year, a few months ago. Kabaka Pyramid. Who else? Protege, I think, just dropped one.
Yeah,
Time.
Matter of Time.
Yeah, Matter of Time. Because remember, he had 8 Year Affair. That was like 2013. Ancient Future was in 2015, and then he just dropped his new album. And then who else released the album? Someone else released the album. Ital released the album this year. Remain Virgo's released an album. So there's been quite a lot of reggae albums come out this year. And then obviously, Stony Hill and Chronology was like last year. Yeah, it's kind of exciting. Who are you waiting to see? Who hasn't dropped an album that you're waiting to see? Mavado. When was his last album?
Yeah, Mavado need to put out a project or something.
Golly God.
Yeah, so
we've been waiting. I think the last one was David Brooks, isn't it?
David Brooks, yeah. 9 years ago. 2009.
He did release, it looks like an EP. It looks like some EPs have come out since then, but as an album, he had obviously Gangster for Life. That was in 2007. Then he had Mr. Brooks, A Better Tomorrow. That's 2009. It's now 2018. So it's been a while. But he's been consistent with his singles. We can't fault him there.
Yeah, his singles have been popping. Sure.
Yeah, but we need an album, golly God. We need an album.
Yeah, I need somewhere I can sit down and listen to for a little while I made span, you know?
Yeah, man. So that's what's been happening in the reggae world. And finally, yes, we get to talk about Idris. I get to talk about it. I had to put it in there because you got to speak about Lapita. I think in the first episode. So this week we're going to be talking about Idris. So Idris Elba, in case people are like, Idris, who's Idris? Idris Elba is rumoured to be in the pipeline to be the new James Bond. So he might be the first ever black James Bond, and some people are happy and some people are not, but we're happy, so that's all we care about. So yeah, what do you think about that? I don't really watch James Bond movies, but you do. Dun 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 dun. Is that the music?
No, that's Mission Impossible.
What's Mission Impossible? Sorry, I'm there thinking that's the joke. I don't watch their movies. I don't know.
Well, I think you can pull it up.
You can pull it off, yeah. I think he's played some good roles, and I think he would definitely be suited to like a James Bond. Yeah, his first film he's directed called Yardie.
Oh yeah, Yardie, yeah.
That's coming out at the end of August. So that's going to be in the cinema end of August in London. So hopefully we can go and see it, and then we'll be able to talk about it and maybe do a review.
Yes,
but we've seen the trailer, official trailer.
Yes,
it looks quite good. I do like the soundtrack so far, what I've heard that goes along with it. The reggae music fits well. I'm glad that they've cast Alameen. Have I said his name right? He was in Kid Othood.
Okay.
Not Kid Othood. What was it called? Oh my gosh, it was so long ago, I can't remember.
I mean, a movie?
Yeah, he played Trife.
Okay.
In remember Noel Clarke's film? Let me find his name so I can say it right.
Okay, but I said them use the lead singer for one of them band in Jamaica, Nomads.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the one of the top man them where. Yeah, but yeah.
That's actually good because I'm kind of tired of watching like Jamaican films and then they've got some booky accent, like some. I'm not gonna go into it, but Luke Cage, that's for next. That's for next week. With Bushmaster. That's for next week. We're gonna talk about Luke Cage's use of Jamaican characters played by Americans and their accents.
Madness,
We'll talk about that. Asher Heights was available.
Don't it?
Marvel.
Don't
Asher
it?
Heights was available, you know. Asher Heights could have been a good Bushmaster.
It's amazing.
But yeah, we'll talk about Luke Cage next week. But yeah, big up Idris Elba on his directorial debut of making Yardie. It looks good.
Man. Salute.
Yeah, and I just found the actor's name. So yeah, that drops end of August. So I hope you guys are gonna go and see it, because I am. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, my people, do give thanks. Rastafari live and reigns, you know.
How do you say it? See, this
I
is.
and I raise.
Yeah, I was gonna say the guy who's in Yardie, Amin. I don't know how to say that. His name. Yeah, look, he was in Kidulthood. I did get it right. He played Trevor.
Oh, Ami.
Yeah, you remember him? No, it's the L. Maml.
Alamin.
Yeah, so I did say it right.
Amlamin,
Yeah, so he's playing character in Yardie. So we look forward to watching that. Next week we'll be talking Luke Cage and some other topics, reggae news and ting, and see what else is going on. So thank you for listening to episode 7.
Thank you.
Of I and I Reason with me, Sinai Flary, and my wonderful co-host, Mr. Jet Setter Star Paper.
Easy.
Asher Heights.
Cupful, please. Asher Heights.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at I and I Reason Podcast. Drop us an email at iandireason@gmail.com. Until next week, one love, one aim, one destiny. Rastafari. Rastafari.